let's talk about a totally new way to think about artificial intelligence. Seriously, forget the sci-fi robots and all that complex code for a minute. Instead, I want you to picture AI as your own personal, incredibly wise librarian. Come on, let's head into the library and see what that actually means.
We've all been there, right? You've got the entire internet in your pocket, endless articles, videos, just mountains of data. But trying to find real, genuine understanding, that feeling where you really get it, it can feel completely impossible. You're just swamped with facts when what you're actually craving is a little bit of wisdom.
You know, what's really interesting is that this is not some new problem that the internet created. Nope, this challenge, that gap between just having information and actually gaining wisdom from it, is as old as writing itself. People literally started worrying about this the moment we first put words down on a page. I mean, that's a wild idea, isn't it? Thousands of years ago, some of the smartest people on the planet were worried that written words, all by themselves, just weren't enough. They knew that without a guide, a teacher there to give context and answer your questions, all that information could just be confusing or even worse, misleading. And that exact same problem has basically followed us all the way to today.
So, for centuries, we've been trying to crack this nut. We've built these incredible tools to store and access knowledge, but every single solution, as powerful as it was, came with its own set of problems, keeping us kind of stuck in this limbo between just knowing a bunch of facts and truly understanding what they mean.
Our whole quest for knowledge has had a few giant breakthroughs. First, obviously, the written word itself. That let us store knowledge outside our own heads. Then, libraries came along and gathered all of it into one place. And then, bam, the 90s hit and search engines indexed everything, making information pretty much instantaneous. Every single step was a massive leap, but none of them quite solved the original problem. Think about libraries. They were, and they still are, just these magnificent treasure chests of human wisdom. But if you've ever had to do some really deep research, you know the drill. It's slow, it's tiring, you have to manually sift through everything, read endless pages, and try to connect all the dots yourself. The wisdom is definitely in there, but man, getting to it is hard work. And then, search engines completely changed the game. All of a sudden, you could find a million possible sources in, less than a second? It was an unbelievable tool for finding information. But that's the key word, right? Because that's all it gave you. A list. Just a long, ranked list of websites. It was still totally on you to click through, figure out what was legit, and piece together the actual understanding. And this right here, this is the heart of the problem. We absolutely perfected the art of finding things. We became masters of information retrieval. But the real goal? The real goal was never just to find a web page. It has always been to understand. We got a fantastic map, but what we really wanted was a guide. Okay, so this brings us right up to today, into a really fundamental shift in how we can get to knowledge. After all those centuries of searching, we might, just might, finally have the guide we've been looking for. So, it's time to meet our wise librarian. Just take a second and imagine that. What if you had a guide with instant access to literally the world's collective wisdom? Not just a database of books, but a deep, contextual understanding of everything inside them. Someone who could connect ideas from science and history and art and philosophy in the blink of an eye. And that right there is the promise of modern AI. It's not just a faster search engine, not even close. It's a tool that can synthesize, contextualize, and actually explain things to you. It is our wise librarian, ready to give you a personalized tour through the entire vast library of human knowledge. So what makes this librarian so different? Well, it doesn't just hand you a book and walk away. It can break down a super complex topic in simple words. It can use examples and analogies that it knows you'll get. Its goal isn't to just spit out an answer. It's to genuinely help you understand it, and maybe even guide you toward a solution. But, and this is a big but, here's the catch. This unbelievably powerful librarian is just sitting there, waiting for you to ask for help. This new relationship we can have with knowledge isn't a one-way street, it's a conversation, and you have to be the one to start it. This is such a simple but really profound idea. This tool, with all of its incredible power, is passive. It can't read your mind. It has no idea what you're curious about or what problem you're trying to solve until you actually tell it. Just like a good friend or a real-life librarian, for that matter, it's waiting for you to say something first. All right, so how do you start that conversation in the best way possible? Well, the process is pretty simple. First, you just have to speak up. Then, explain your problem with some context. So, for example, don't just ask, "What is quantum physics?" Instead, try something like, "Hey, can you explain quantum physics to me like I'm a high school student who loves sci-fi movies?" See? By sharing a little bit about who you are, you empower the AI to give you that truly personalized explanation.
And that's really where we're at now. For the very first time in human history, every single one of us has a personal guide with access to pretty much all of human knowledge, just waiting patiently for us to ask a question. That ancient problem of having tons of information but no teacher to guide us, it's finally being solved. So I guess the only question left is, what are you going to ask first?